Hi, this is Karthik Rangappa and welcome to the fourth video in the personal finance series. In this video, I'll talk about savings and the mindset that you need to develop for a successful wealth creation journey. Now, before we get into the details, you need to understand the fundamental savings equation that you need to incorporate in your life. Most people, as soon as they receive their monthly salary, will splurge that money on things that they've been eyeing throughout the month. It could be that swanky Jordans, or maybe that iPhone, or maybe that fancy dinner that you've been wanting to take your partner. Usually, it is not just one or two things, but a series of such expenses. Towards the end of the month, you're left with no money, and you're again waiting for your salary credit, and the cycle repeats. When you splurge on things as soon as you get your salary, knowingly or unknowingly, you're prioritizing expenses over savings. At this rate, you'll never be able to save, and even if you do, you know you're not being serious about savings. This savings behavior can actually be expressed as a mathematical equation. You get your salary, so that becomes your income, and then you spend on things that you think are important, so that's your expenses, and whatever is left, you may or may not choose to save. So the equation is income minus expenses equal to savings. If you can relate your lifestyle to this equation, then perhaps it's time to relook at things. The fix is fairly easy. You need to rearrange this equation. Instead of prioritizing expenses, you need to prioritize savings. So the equation now becomes income minus savings is equal to expenses. But it's easier said than done. Reworking on this equation implies you're reworking on your lifestyle. You may be drooling at that fancy phone or camera all month long, but as soon as your salary hits your bank account, you must prioritize and save first. This means that you may not be able to buy that fancy thing immediately this month. Perhaps you may have to wait for a few months before you can afford it. But that's alright. By prioritizing savings, you know you've done the right thing. One of the most common mistakes when it comes to savings is that people give themselves multiple reasons not to save. For example, I don't have enough money to save this month, or maybe I can save next month onwards. Or it could even be things like, what is the point of saving small amounts like 500 rupees or 1000 rupees? I may as well save a larger amount tomorrow. I've seen a lot of people, especially the younger folks, give such stupid reasons. Unfortunately, by giving whatever reasons and by not saving, you're missing out on two important things. An opportunity to develop and nurture your savings habit, taking advantage of time. Starting to save early, irrespective of the amount that you have, implies you're programming yourself to a habit. It does not matter how much you save. The fact that you are religiously saving every month matters. By doing so, you're inculcating a habit of saving. If you happen to save, let's say in a mutual fund, then you're also giving yourself adequate time to experience multiple market cycles early in your life. The good part is that early in your career, perhaps your ability to save or the quantum of savings may be small, but that's absolutely okay. By opting to save early in life, you're giving yourself a lot of room to observe yourself, learn from your own reactions to market behavior, and get a better state in terms of understanding your own savings persona. Now, as you progress in your career and start to earn more, you'll have more money to save. Hopefully, the lessons that you would have learned early in your life will come in handy at this point, and hopefully you don't make silly financial mistakes. One of the very few things that I'm proud about myself is the fact that I chose to invest in a mutual fund very early in my life. The investment amount was very small though. But the small investments that I made every month gave me solid exposure to the stock markets. I've seen through multiple things. Be it the Reliance split between the two brothers, Sensex hitting 10K, multiple interest rate and inflation cycles, subprime crisis, political drama, geopolitical tensions, and most recently the COVID episode. But the experience of starting to save early in my career, seeing through multiple things in the markets, taught me few very important lessons: patience and discipline. And above all, the conviction to stay invested in the market irrespective of what happens. Now, when it comes to savings, people often sweat over where to save their money in. Yes, conversations usually lead to a mutual fund. Mutual funds are a great carrier of your savings money, and you should consider saving in a mutual fund at some point in your life. But the problem, however, is people usually get lost in the mutual fund world trying to figure the best fund to invest in, and they're usually a victim of analysis paralysis. So much so that they end up not investing at all. Don't let this happen to you. If you're starting to save, the first step is to break the inertia and make a saving. It is okay to make that saving in a simple savings bank account or maybe a fixed deposit. But the idea is to start somewhere. In the initial years, don't let the choice of your savings instrument slow you down, or worst, not get you started at all. Pick that instrument that you understand well. Remember, in the initial years, the goal is to develop the habit of savings. Once you develop conviction on your own savings habit, then you can start exploring mutual funds. Do comment below and let us know at what age you started investing and share your experience. I'll see you guys in the next video.